So jumping in, Mo, let's get right into it. I want to talk about mental health, right? This is a big thing. And then obviously I've been seeing online this TikTok therapy, right? TikTok
Mhm.
therapy and just how it affects mental health.
So TikTok therapy. So first of all, what even is that?
Cool. You already know I'm a big chat GPT person. You are too as well. So let's look it up real quick. All
Yeah, let's
right.
do that.
Cool. So got you. So TikTok therapy refers to the growing trend of therapists, mental health advocates, and individuals sharing mental health content on TikTok. Right. TikTok, Instagram, we know, Snapchat, Facebook. It's a digital phenomenon where bite-sized videos are used to discuss mental health topics, provide tips, and raise awareness about mental well-being. While it can be a powerful tool for education and reduce stigma, it has its limitations and also its drawbacks. So my question to you is, what's your thoughts on it? Right? What's your thoughts on TikTok therapy?
Okay. I like it. I actually like it. I like that. I mean, I don't know it. I don't really be on TikTok like that for real, but the concept of TikTok therapy, I mean, social media can be used for all kinds of terrible things, right? So at least, TikTok therapy, you're giving therapy to the world and attacking mental health issues and whatnot. I like I like that positivity being put out into that atmosphere right there.
Now, right? Playing double, once again, we're gonna look at the both sides too as well. People that talk about it and are given therapy that don't have an experience, right? Like
Okay.
I agree, but I also disagree. And the main reason is there are people out there that will self-treat and give advice. And I think it is a powerful thing if once again you have the certifications, the accreditation, right? You're a doctor, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But if you are someone that, for example, is anti the medical and you're going to go more of a holistic route and say, you know what, if you put beans in a bag and if you boil the beans and you put it on your neck, then all of a sudden you don't have neck pain, right? That is a problem. And so, although social media is a very powerful thing, I do suggest, and I do it too as well. Like I try to do my research, do my due diligence more so than everything else, right? It is a powerful thing and it does allow us to reach. But if it's not something that is beneficial, right, it can do more harm than good in my opinion. But I'm with you. Like I said, like I follow, I have clients, I follow people that are, therapists, right, that give advice on
Mhm.
how to deal with stressors. But when you start, going into the remedies of do this, do this, use this, garlic powder, whatever the case is, then that's where it gets a little bit more extreme. And, they're not liable technically because technically we,
Sure,
we, we just watched the video, right? More
for
so than
sure,
everything else.
for sure, for sure. No, I agree with you. That was my standpoint from it. I'm thinking professionals, but
Mm,
yeah, if you're talking about like 12-year-old little girl talking about do this or whatever on TikTok, like yeah, come on. But, but that makes a lot of sense. I agree. I agree.
yeah. And then, I mean, with that too, like we talk about this all the time, right? Just the algorithm of social media, right? And just the power of social media on mental health and stuff like that too, as well. You just told me recently that if there's things that are coming to my explore page, I can unfollow them, I can block them, right, and things like that. And it
Mhm.
takes time, it takes effort, right? And it's not something that's advertised on social media. But what would you say the impact of just like the algorithm itself now is on just everyone's mental health, how we feel, what we see on our phones more so than anything else?
I mean, I listened to a really interesting podcast recently that talked about the algorithm and essentially all these algorithms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, even YouTube, you know, obviously they can be used for good, but the main purpose behind, these companies creating these algorithms is to keep you scrolling, keep you engaged, keep you, effectively wasting time and stuck on this app versus being productive. And so yeah, I mean, it really just depends on how aware the user is and if you're in control, if you're setting limitations, if you're, you know, actually getting shit done in life versus you're just sucked into the algorithm
Algorithm, yep.
machine and you're just, in the matrix
Yeah, yeah.
really,
And we talk about this all the time, right? Like I use social media for business, but also too like you get caught up in like business turns into like, okay, cool. Like, let me see how this family member is doing. Let me see how this friend is doing. Oh, you know what? This movie's out. I just saw an ad that Lion King is out. Whatever the movie out, right? Is
Yeah.
Gladiator just came out. And so now all of a sudden you go through this spiral of things. But you've done a really good job in minimizing your social media, right? So like what are tips and tricks that like you've used more so than everything else? And then for social media, but do you also feel like people should just cut off social media fully?
I think it depends. It depends on your level of addiction, really. And I really believe, I mean,
Oh,
in
bro, you
this
said
modern
addiction. You said
addiction,
addiction.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel in
You
this,
said
especially this,
addiction, bro. Like unpack that. Like, why do you feel like social media is an addiction?
because here's a primary example. If you go into your screen time and you're shocked by the number that it says on your Instagram or whatever, you're addicted. That's what that means. Point blank, period. Because you don't even know how much time you're spending. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I mean? You're just scrolling. And it's an addiction. You're getting the dopamine. You're getting they. Let me put this post and let me see how many likes. And every time you get a like, your phone's getting hit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I mean, so like years ago, I kind of like I wanted to get out of that, just get out of it completely, just snap back to reality. And so a few things I've done: one, I put my phone on do not disturb, just because if not, you're getting inundated with just notification after notification after notification, and like it really becomes like you're not in control of your life.
Absolutely.
You're just responding to notification. Let me look at my look at my phone, versus like what would you be doing if you
If you
weren't
didn't have social media.
looking at, if your phone wasn't notifying you about some bull jive. You know what I mean? What would you actually be doing? You'd be doing something productive, hopefully, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But we're stuck in this loop of, oh, let me look, oh, ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? And so that was one thing that I've done, is my phone's on do not disturb all the time. It's not that I'm, I hate the world, I'm antisocial. It's just like I don't want to be distracted. Like that is the thing that's going on the most, I feel, in society today. Just like distraction, distraction. And then you wonder why, people are upset about where they are in life, and financially, whatever the case may be. It's like imagine, like, just think about all that time you're wasting on social media, on this, on that, notifications, boom, boom, boom. You're getting dopamine hits every time the like goes on your phone, or vice versa. You don't get any likes. You post something and like, damn, I only got this many likes. Now you're going into depression. And you know what I mean? It's wild. And so that's
And
one thing.
I got a question for you too. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of staying on the word addiction that you use for social media,
Yeah.
right? What defines being addicted to social media?
Like I said before, I think being addicted to social media is like, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is, I need to look at this. I need to check this. I need to see whatever is going on. If it's the first, like, if you wake up in the morning, that's your first thought. That's a sign of addiction to me. If you, like I said before, if you go to your screen time and you're shocked by the number of hours that you're spending on whatever app it is, that's a form of addiction, in my opinion. If you don't even know how much time you've been spending on it, and you're just like, damn, that's crazy. That's
Addiction.
that's addiction. If you find yourself just aimlessly scrolling sometimes, or whatever the case may be, like you might have gone on there for a specific reason, and then boom, an hour goes by, how much time goes by, and you're like, why am I still, like, why am I still doing this? Addiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I think, like, that's what I mean when I say addiction. And
Nah,
then
and it makes sense, and I think that's something that we don't necessarily talk about, right? I think we all have phones and everyone is innovated with iPhones and Androids and all sorts of stuff. And you don't realize that the bigger player at hand it's the phone. Even more than social media, it's the phone. Right. I
Mhm.
and I it's something I deal with to this day, right? I wake up, what is my alarm? My phone. What is
Mhm.
where am I writing my notes? My phone. Where am I checking emails? My phone, right? Where do we do FaceTimes, right? My phone. And so I think it kind of goes to kind of what you were saying is like, yes, do not disturb, but also to having more time where we can actually be away from the phones. right? Or having times where you
Mhm.
can actually leave the phone in the office and actually go spend time with family, right? Go on a
Mhm.
walk, right? Do something outdoors. If you have a backyard, go garden, right? And I think that goes to the bigger picture of like the mental health thing. Like it's social media, yes, but it's also like it's our devices. You know what I mean? It's our
Yeah.
big picture is our devices,
No, for sure, for sure.
which is crazy to think about it, things that, a couple years ago was just for making calls and text messaging, really just making calls. Cause right, we were in the era of the flip phones, right? Just making calls and maybe playing Snake if you actually had a Nokia back in
Yeah,
the day,
right.
right? But like we've evolved and technology has really advanced itself so much that like our phones are the addiction, right? More so than social media, more so than everything else is like what was originally created for phone calls and then text messages and then games is now for social media, and then we all have our algorithm, which is scary to know that we all have different
Mhm.
algorithms,
Yeah.
right? Which is crazy, and yeah, it's crazy.
Hold on though. Let me I wanted to touch on the second thing. So the first thing I did was put my phone on do not disturb.
Mhm.
Secondly, I went on a hiatus from social media. It wasn't it was intentional at first. Like I was like, okay, 1 month, and I just deleted Instagram, Facebook, blah blah blah, right? And then after that month, which is crazy, after that month, when I reinstalled the apps, my desire was gone. Kind of like that month reset. And I think they call it a dopamine reset. Matter of fact, actually, then there's an actual psychological term for that dopamine reset. And after a month, because essentially what it becomes is a drug.
Mhm.
It becomes a drug, and then your dopamine is just all over the place. So you do this dopamine reset, 30 days off of social media. You say a social media fast, if you will. And when I did that, I did the 30 days, and then after that, got back on, and because I can honestly say I was addicted. I'm not
Mhm.
just talking from like judging people. Da, 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 da. No, I was one of the addicted people. We got it in college, and it was our era. That's what we did, right?
Yeah.
I used to post every day. Every day I was posting and
Every day.
scrolling and doing all that. But I just was like, hold on, let me step back. Like, what's really going on? And once I did that, it kind of changed.
And since minimizing social, you feel like you have more time for everything else.
More time. It's Well, definitely. Obviously, you have more time because you're not utilizing that. Like you are on your screen time, and it's X amount of hours. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like the time you really look at it, the time you're wasting. That time could be put into what being productive, whatever it is, your little side hustle, your business, your this, your that. Learning a skill, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, from that standpoint, definitely saving time or freeing up time. And then I think mentally, there's a aspect of withdrawing from the social media, whether it's the reset of the dopamine. There's something mentally where I don't know, it feels better I feel better than I
Mhm.
did when I was constantly scrolling and I was addicted to that notifications and all that jive.
Yeah, and mind you, like I told you, like I use my social media more now for business purposes than anything else because the social media marketing and all that. But I agree with you, like the that feeling of being overwhelmed and anxious is real, and it's all through
Mm,
notifications. Not even a real
mhm.
being or anything like that. It's through notifications. Or you're at the movies and you just feel your phone vibrating the whole time. And it's like, dude, like this it's not okay. It's not okay. Now you got your woman looking at you like, who the hell is texting you this much? It's like, nah, it's notifications. I posted the picture of us as a family on there and I'm getting all these
Yeah.
messages. It's your fault. Oh. Yeah, bro. So all right, man, let's move into
The
the
phone,
next.
the phone is your wife now. Where you at? Do notification. Why you ain't looking at me?
Oh.
Why you ain't clicking these
Oh,
notifications, Carl? Where you at?
we're gonna have that discussion too as well, man. At some point, we're gonna talk about that because that's a whole nother beast. Just phones and times and spouses and stuff like that.